I simply want to introduce you to some and present to others an amazing young man. Name is Mr. Chuck Worthy. And I've got to say it. Good afternoon, Chuck. How you doing?
Well, good afternoon. And you know what? As we say in the technical world, it's good afternoon, good morning, good evening,
Yeah.
wherever you are right now. So this is a tremendous opportunity. It's an honor. And, this is a bolt out of the blue, and you're the lightning bolt.
Oh, you know what, man? I'm going to record that, man, and rewind the
All right.
tape and press play. I tell you,
All right.
man, we thank God for you. Welcome to the GMAP Broadcast Network. And of course, we take time out to
Mhm.
welcome those that are tuned in from our partner networks, the Roku family, Amazon Fire TV, and of course,
Okay.
Comcast
Okay.
Cable. And you know,
Yeah.
Chuck, I'm excited, man. Thank you, first of all, for being
Hmm.
here with us this afternoon
Absolutely.
here on the
Absolutely.
GMAP Broadcast Network. And thank you
Uh-huh.
for accepting the invitation to be a part of our
Hmm.
broadcast network family. I'm diving in, Chuck. I want you to
All
step
right.
up to the
All
plate,
right. All right.
introduce
Mm-hmm.
yourself, tell us who you are, tell us where you're from. Who is Chuck Worthy?
Okay, okay. Well, I am Chuck Worthy. At least I will be Chuck Worthy today. And I'm kind of complex. I'm a technical guy. I'm a master accredited solutions expert. I'm also a published poet and a published songwriter, and all of that kind of mixes in together. My family's from North Carolina and Virginia. I'm living out here on the West Coast. Where my wife's family is brought up. They homesteaded here in the 1800s, right? So it's very cool. It's great. We're living on the last 2 acres of the 10-acre homestead that her great great grandfather homesteaded in 1880s.
Wow,
It's
wow,
amazing,
wow,
amazing.
man.
And then above that, I am my parents' son. My father, Charles Edward Worthy Sr., war hero in Vietnam, came back covered in glory. And my mother is in the Helen Ophelia Shawworthy is in the Political Hall of Fame of North Carolina.
Wow,
So
wow,
I have lots to live up to.
man. You know what? And once
Hmm.
again, man, we thank God for you. We appreciate you. And of course, we're going to dive in because, you know, you have this
Hmm.
amazing publication that you released, once again titled An Honest Christian Poet. Break that down for me, Chuck. Tell us a little bit about it.
All right. Well, it has multiple segments, right? There's a segment on love. There's a segment on life. And when I my poetry on life, it's the glory of it. It's the suffering, the hardship, and then everything else that goes into it. Stuff that we might not want to talk about, but we have to talk about it. And in that section, a lot of that is me talking to me.
Mm.
And yeah, you can do it. You can do it. You can do it. There's a section on war because my dad went to war, and I study war, and not only because we have a big military family, but I want to understand what happened to him.
Mm-hmm.
In
Mm-hmm.
Vietnam, I desperately want to know what happened that changed him so much.
Right, right.
Yeah,
Wow. I'm,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and
Hmm.
you know, I know that there's going to be a lot of people very interested,
Hmm.
Chuck, and of course,
Sure,
is
sure.
this in fact
Hmm.
a first freshman release, or is this a follow up that you have previously written before?
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, you know what? It's a first release, but I wrote my first poem, which was actually writing a song, when I was in, say, second grade. So,
Wow.
so I've been writing a long time, and I have about 400 that are good to go, and that are on a site I'm on called allpoetry.com. The book has about 100, so we're ready for at least three more books. But I'm still writing. But you know what? The kind of comical thing is that I've got 400 up on the website, but I've probably over these last 60 some odd years, 66 years, I probably lost more than what I have. You know what I mean?
Right,
Because everybody's
right.
tried it, and it doesn't get kept. So there you
Right.
have it.
Well, you know,
So, so yeah.
and once again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and
Mhm,
girls, I want you to know that Chuck
mhm,
is one of our premier featured authors on the GMAP Broadcast Network,
mhm,
GMAP1.com. And of course,
Mm-hmm.
as I said a few moments ago, we want you to stop by our platform. Click on the tab that is simply titled Featured Authors. You'll see a copy of the publication I'm currently showing you on the screen, An Honest Christian Poet. Click on that cover and it will take you to the necessary location, find out more intimate information and details about the author as well as the publication. And of course, Chuck, I gotta ask,
Mm-hmm. Sure.
you know, uh, when you went through the process
Mm-hmm.
of putting
Mm-hmm.
all this together,
Sure. Sure.
and you, of course you had to read it
Mhm.
and you had to get
Yeah.
it edited.
Mm-hmm. Right.
When
Right.
others take the
Mm-hmm.
opportunity to support you and
Mm-hmm.
purchase a copy of this
Mm-hmm.
publication and they
Sure.
read
Sure.
it, what is it that you, as an author,
Mm-hmm.
want the readers to hold on to and take
Mm-hmm.
with
Mm-hmm.
them when they're done
Mm-hmm.
reading it? Tell us that.
Okay. Okay, a couple of big things, couple of big things. In the faith section, I do dig down into the heartache. There's a line in one poem that says, lying, you're in a place where solace itself lies wailing, because we get to that place. But then I switch the scene to, but remember, Christ was crucified. He was brutalized. He was murdered, buried. But then he laid in the grave for 3 days. And then, and I kind of dig this, he rose from the grave. Rose? No, he erupted with the power of a
Mm.
quasar, pulsar, and gamma ray burst. And excuse me. And then, so he arose, gathered the armies of heaven, and like lightning thundered off to find his lost children.
Yeah.
You know,
Wow.
wrestling things like that quite a bit. So that we're in these desperate places sometimes. But he came to connect with us in those places and to pull us out of those places, no matter what. If we
Right.
call on him, he's there. And
Right.
then, in the oh, I have to go to three. Then in the life section, a lot of that talked about the same thing. And then in the social section, really what I'm saying there, if you kind of read between the lines, is far left, far right, whatever. We're all wrong.
That was a powerful statement there. And speaking of it, Chuck,
Mhm.
for
Uh-huh.
those that want to
Mhm.
show their support, their love, care, concern,
Oh,
and
sure,
support,
sure.
how
Mhm.
is it that your publication can be purchased?
Mhm.
How can they get it? What's the process to
Mhm.
do so? Where is it available?
Okay. Okay. Perfect. Good question. You can go to Amazon and then just search for An Honest Christian Poet, and you'll get there and you'll see the interviews and everything. Or you can go to the website authorchuckworthy.com. Saw me glancing over there, authorchuckworthy.com, and you can get it from there also.
And we will not allow them to
Hmm.
forget about little
Hmm.
old GMAP Broadcast Network. We're down here
Absolutely. Absolutely.
we're down
Absolutely.
here in the lower left hand corner in small print, but we
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
mind
Yeah.
small print because they tell
Well,
me
you know
that
what?
yeah, small
Hmm.
print is the
Yeah.
most important print on the paper. And of
Right.
course,
Right. Right.
Chuck,
Hmm.
if someone wanted to reach out to
That's
you
right.
on a more
Mhm.
individual
Right.
basis to find out some of the things
Right.
that you're doing, what's the
Sure.
process to do so? I mean,
Mhm.
how can you be
Okay.
connected with?
Okay. Okay. I have an author. If you go to Facebook, you can search for author Chuck Worthy. And by the way, before I go any further, I posted earlier this morning about this great opportunity and I listed out your website.
Well, we
So I
appreciate
wanted
that.
to, yes, definitely wanted to reciprocate that because it's a pretty doggone cool opportunity, and everyone says we're hyped about it, but it's exciting, and we've dealt with other organizations that have said we can do this, we can do this, we can do this,
Mm-hmm.
but as we discussed earlier, yeah, they can do this, and this.
Mm-hmm.
Once we raise your bank account.
Ah.
Mhm.
Well, let me say this. Let me say this, Chuck.
Mhm. Yeah.
One of the reasons that I have been led to do
Okay.
what it is that I do is because I
Mhm.
simply want to give people the opportunity to get
Sure.
recognized, be exposed in a
Mhm.
positive way
Right,
without
right,
trying
right.
to dig in their pocket. Because you know what? It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
cost a whole lot to make sure that we can try to present you to as many people as possible. And
Right, right, right,
I
right.
made a vow from the
Mm-hmm.
beginning. I'm not going to be one of those
Mm-hmm.
individuals that try to dig in your pocket to
Mm-hmm.
pad my
Sure,
pocket.
sure.
I want
Absolutely,
to
yeah.
present you
Mm-hmm.
and present us as well to as many
Mm-hmm.
people as
Mm-hmm.
possible at the most
Uh-huh.
inexpensive way that I can. And of course, I got to
Absolutely.
ask you this. I heard you
Mm-hmm.
say a little bit
Okay.
earlier. I got to ask you this. You went through the process of writing this particular
Yeah.
publication,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and you know
Mm-hmm.
from the very beginning, the journey you have taken, and to
Mm-hmm.
where you are right now. Let me ask you this: what's next for you as an author?
Okay, okay. Well, as I'm thinking about these things and I'm contemplating what I say a lot of times, as I allow my mind to ruminate on these things, kind of from this out there. But I'm going to put out another book, but I have but it's going to be in color, and well, this is in color too, but it's going to have images, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there was I don't remember his name right now, but there was a great photo artist who, God bless him, he's taken tens of thousands of photographs. They're fantastic. They're marvelous. But he's made his money, right? He's
Uh huh.
made
Uh huh.
his money. And so he's put out about 8 gig, right? 8 gigabyte. No, no, no. Yeah, over 800 gig of photographs, and he says, hey, click here and you can download them and you can use them as you want. Now that's a
Mm.
blessing because it's extraordinary photographs. So what I'll do is I will match the poems up with those images. And I'm also thinking about, connecting, because there's some groups out here that'll say, where there's artists, painters that'll say, "Hey, give me your poem, and I will paint. I'll paint a picture for it."
Yeah.
Or now we got to be careful here. Like I said, I'm a technical guy, and our company, most companies, we're digging way deep into AI for a million different reasons. But I tried that. Because they'll take your poem and they'll say, "Okay, let the AI create an image of it." But I got to
Yes.
tell you, man, the images that come out of AI are still rather disturbing.
Yeah. Oh, I see. So, once again, ladies and gentlemen,
Um,
Chuck is one of
mhm,
our featured authors on the GMAP
mhm,
Broadcast Network. We encourage you to stop by gmap1.com, show your love,
mhm,
care, concern, and support. Purchase a copy of the
mhm,
publication that's listed, An Honest Christian Poet. We want you to purchase a copy. We want you to share that information with all of your followers, your family, your friends. We want you to post this information on social media. We want you to make sure, and please, by all means, go back and leave a review. Leave a review. That is so very important for Chuck, for myself, for the people that are on the outside listening in. Leave a review. Let people know what you think, how you feel, your suggestions, your recommendations. And I'm sure that it's going to encourage others to show their support as well. Now, it's an amazing thing, and I appreciate everything. So, Chuck, I'm going to say this to you:
mhm. Okay.
if there is anything that
Mhm,
we can do to continue to assist you
mhm.
while you're on this journey in any
Okay.
way, shape,
Okay.
we want you to reach out. We
Mhm,
want you to contact us. We want you to pick up
mhm.
that phone. We want you to call. Let us know
Yeah.
what we can do. If you have book signings, events, speaking
Right.
engagements
Right.
coming up,
Right.
let us know what we can
Mhm,
do to assist you in any way, shape,
mhm.
form, or fashion. And I want you to know
Yeah.
that when
Yeah.
you call and let me know, the answer will
Mhm.
always be yes, and you will never,
Okay. Okay.
ever
I got you. I
have
got
to
you.
ask me twice.
Mhm.
I tell you what, before I
All
let
right.
you go, Chuck, I'm going to
Sure.
just say this.
Mhm,
I'm going to move over. I'm going to allow you to
mhm.
step up to the plate, and I want you to just
Okay.
speak from the heart to all of the viewers and
Okay.
listeners around the world. I'm
Mhm,
going to move
mhm.
over, and I'm going to simply say, Chuck Worthy, the floor is yours.
All right, all right. And the thing is, I do have something to say with this poetry, and it's multiple things. One of those is we're all in this together. We really are. Okay, we're told we're not, but we're all in this together. We can all come under the saving grace of Christ, right? And no matter how dark the times are that you're in, you're not alone. Okay, you're
Mm.
not alone. Prayer is just a step away. And that help that's just a step away in Christ, he suffered just like you. He's been through those dark places. And he's been through death, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
he understands. And sometimes people will say, well, in our ministry, someone will say, well, I've done this and this and this and this, But then what we would say is, why do you think he died for us?
Yeah. Wow.
He knows all about that. And then, well, like if in the social realm, um, stop screaming and yelling all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Stop
Mm-hmm.
screaming and yelling. Listen and, maybe have a bit more humility to understand that we are human, right? We are human and we all make mistakes. And in a lot of things, in one way, shape, or form or another, we're wrong. Okay. And then the final thing is about the Lord, it's about God. We think of him as on this earth, right? And
Mm-hmm.
and in heaven, right? But I dig astronomy, astrophysics, and all that stuff, right? But when I think of God, I think of things like, this will sound weird, Laniakea, right? Laniakea. It's a supercluster with billions of galaxies in it, So, and a nickname for it is, immeasurable heavens, immense star seas, right? He's
Mm.
so much bigger than what we think, right? So much bigger than what we think and what we know. And so we need to kind of explode that view that we have of him. He spoke all this stuff into being, right? And so he controls all of that. He did all that. So that help that's just a prayer away is help from a God who holds stars in his hand.
Mm. Mm.
Know?
Wow.
And yeah, and he reigns and rules in the heavens. And when we think of heaven, we're thinking too small. When we think of him, we're thinking way too small,
Yeah.
way too
Wow.
small.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, one of our featured authors on the
Mhm.
GMAP Broadcast Network, GMAP1.com. Mr. Chuck Worthy, of course, we are going to be inviting you back. We're going to want to dig deep about some of the other great
Absolutely,
things that
absolutely.
you're doing, your music, and all of
Hmm.
the ministry. We're going to be talking with you more. We're going to be inviting you
Hmm.
back to do a follow up to find out some of the great things that you have ahead. And once again,
Okay,
we
okay.
appreciate you
Hmm.
being here
Hmm.
today, and we're gonna
Right,
make
right. Thank you.
sure that we let the world know to be sure to pick up a copy of Chuck's
Hmm.
latest edition, An Honest Christian Poet. Pick up a copy. Make sure you share the information with all of your followers, your family, your friends. It's the holiday season approaching us. Share it as a gift. But please make sure after you do so, you purchase a copy, you share the information, go back, leave a review, and of course, everyone involved will appreciate it. And of course, I thank God for all of you that are tuned in today that may even catch a hint of the rebroadcast. I appreciate all of our partner networks who are chimed in on today. And of course, I appreciate the fact that we can continue to present information like this that will be a blessing to not just you, but to all
Hmm.
involved. Until next time, of course, coming up in about 10, 15 minutes, we can have another a great author who's going to be joining us. And she just happens to be the wife of Mr. Chuck Worthy. She's coming up in about 10 or
Astounding.
15 minutes. And of course, I
Astounding.
want you guys to keep it locked and don't move. Hey, Chuck, I appreciate you being here.
Hmm.
I look forward to talking with you again very, very soon. Until
Absolutely.
then, I want you
Absolutely.
to continue to be blessed and be a blessing. And I'll
Hmm.
reach out and we'll touch base
Hmm.
soon and
Yeah.
very soon. Have a
And
wonderful,
you're part of the
wonderful
big blessing.
afternoon.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Hey, Chuck.
You're part of the big blessings, man. Yeah.
I appreciate that, and I'm going to be
Right.
reaching out. Have a wonderful afternoon, and I'll talk with you soon, okay?
Thank you. I'll talk to you soon. Looking forward to it.
Chuck Worthy, featured author, GMAP Broadcast Network. We'll be back with more right after this.